It is another night of playoff atmosphere in Atlanta. Game three of this three-game series between the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves starts now. Good afternoon, everyone, and happy Sunday to everyone here listening on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. And just like last night, we have a very, very impactful game between these two teams, the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. Well, coming into last night's game, if you guys tuned in and listened to us, both the Mets and the Braves were tied going into the game. And Braves won. It was the home run ball, has been the home run ball all weekend long. Two home runs by the Mets last night, one in the fifth inning by Dansby Swanson, who ends up bringing in Ronald Acuna Jr. And then later on in the fifth, to lead things off, Matt Olson hits a solo bomb to right field. And from there, the Braves never looked back as they went on to win 5-2. And like I mentioned, and as I say, playoff atmosphere tonight. It's been like that all weekend long. A sold out Truist Park as the Braves and Mets do battle for the final time. Tonight's going to be wrapping up the series. Afterwards, the Braves are going to head over to Miami to finish up against the Marlins, and then the Mets are going home to face the Nationals in a three-game series. And with the Braves one up above the division. Okay, we're talking about the National League East, the biggest, the last division that's yet to be decided. Everything else, all right, besides that third wild card, we'll talk about that in a moment. Everything else has been decided among the American League, among the National League. Okay, and where the playoff picture looks at right now at this moment, well, hey, we have the Padres, thanks to the Brewers losing earlier today against the Marlins, and we'll talk plenty about that in today's game. Well, the Padres have clinched the second, at least a playoff spot, and the Philadelphia Phillies, after a win last night, this morning, or earlier today, they go on and they have a game and a half lead above Milwaukee, so that third wild card spot's still open. But if you think about the National League East, the winner. Okay. There's no 163 games this season. All right. Whoever has the better record, and whoever, if it ends up in a tie, someone's going to have a better record. Whoever has the better record is going to go on and have that first round bye. As that first wild card spot, they're going to probably right now they're penciled in to play the Padres, and then if they have to not only get through the Padres in the series, but then they're going to have to get through the Dodgers on the road in LA. And I don't think anyone wants to face the Dodgers as a has won 110 games. So a lot of things happening tonight, a lot of great predictions going on. Here's my overall thought. Whoever wins tonight's game has a front foot in leading, especially if it's Atlanta, uh, making it two games into the wild card, into the division. So Mets and Braves kick off tonight, coming up here in just a few minutes. When we come back, we will get to you the starting pitchers and the starting lineup, followed by the first pitch. Thank you guys for tuning in to Sunday Night Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We want to give a big shout out to the StreamYard Studios, the proud home of the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Create your podcast, host virtual business meetings, conduct your YouTube videos and interviews all at StreamYard.com. Check out their free version today. And we are just getting ready, just a few minutes away from the game 3 of this 3-game series, wrapping up an 82-game series with the Atlanta Braves at home in the homestands. And the Braves are trying to come into the sweep tonight as New York is trying to, one, avoid being swept, and two, trying to stay alive in the National League East. Like I said, both teams are going to be in the playoffs. The winner is going to have that wild card weekend off, getting ready to face whoever is going to be the winner of the Cardinals and the other wild card winner. And then the loser, all right, if it's the Mets or Braves, one of them is going to head down and have to face the Padres in a 3-game series as of right now. And then they'll go on, and the winner of that's going to go on and have to face the Dodgers. So not an easy road here moving forward. So hey, both teams want to win, especially win tonight and end up on a great series. Well, tonight's pitching matchup looking like here for the New York Mets. We got Chris Bassett, 33-year-old right-hander, coming out of the 2011 draft from the Chicago White Sox. He's 15-8 on the season, 3.27 ERA in 29 games. He's also pitched 179 innings with 165 strikeouts, as the last outing was on September 23rd against Oakland, where he pitched 8 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. For the New York Mets, or for the Atlanta Braves, my mistake. We got Charlie Morton, 38-year-old veteran, taking on, coming out of the 2002 draft with the Braves. He's 9-6 on the season, 4.29 ERA in 30 games, 167 pitches, and 200 strikeouts. Last inning's pitch was back on the 25th. He's went 4 2/3 of an inning. Not so great of an outing with 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So it's going to be a nice veteran pitching duel for the most part. And then it's going to probably go right back down to the bullpen. We saw a great performance last night between Kyle Wright and Max Scherzer. So probably expect another one here tonight between the Mets, between Chris Bassett and Charlie Morton. We get you the starting lineup here for the New York Mets, penciled in by Buck Showalter. Batting first, leading things off for the Mets, the center fielder Brandon Nemo. Batting second at shortstop, Francisco Lindor. Batting third in right field is Jeff McNeil. Batting cleanup at first base is Pete Alonso. At third base, batting fifth, Eduardo Escobar. Daniel Vogelbach will be the designated hitter. He'll be batting sixth. Batting seventh, Mark Canha. He'll be in left field. Batting eighth at second base is Luis Guillermo. He'll batting ninth, about doing the catching behind the plate, is James McCann. That is Nemo, Lindor, and McNeil, Alonso, Escobar, Vogelbach, Canha, Guillermo, and McCann for the New York Mets. The starting lineup for the Atlanta Braves here, penciled in by Brian Snicker. Ronald Acuna Jr. will lead things off. He'll be playing right field. Dansby Swanson batting second at shortstop. Michael Harris the second, he'll be batting third in center field. Austin Riley will be playing third base at batting cleanup. At first base, batting fifth is Matt Olson. Travis d'Arnaud will do the catching behind the plate. He'll be batting sixth. Marcelo Ozuna, the designated hitter, he'll be batting seventh. Batting eighth, Eddie Rosario, he'll be in left field. And batting ninth, Orlando Arcia, he'll be playing second base. That is Acuna Jr., Swanson, Harris, Riley, Olson, d'Arnaud, Ozuna, Rosario, and Arcia for the Atlanta Braves. Well, the Atlanta Braves have a 1-game lead over the New York Mets as we get ready for a Sunday night throwdown between the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. Just waiting here for the first pitch on my behalf before we get you all the information. And it's a beautiful day, afternoon in Atlanta, and I'm excited for this ball game. Like I said, looks like for the Atlanta Braves, this lineup has been complete for both. Same thing as last night. Looks like exactly the same as I saw last night. Couple things changed in New York again with the New York Mets in their throwdown. Vogelback left the game early as a designated hitter early on, and then he went on to. He's back in the lineup today. All right, we're gonna step away, and we're ready. We'll come right back for the first pitch. Sunday night baseball here, throwdown, just getting underway in Atlanta, and we've had a little delay to the start of the game, at least on the television side of things. So right now we are currently sitting with Francisco Lindor up at bat, taking on Charlie Morton, one away so far in the inning. Brandon Nemo grounds out to second base. Orlando Arcia and we toss it over to Matt Olson. This one's hit, flied out to right field for the snag, and that is quickly two away. So we're just getting underway here on Sunday Night Baseball on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. A little delay start for the broadcast that we're watching it on, but we're catching you guys up quickly as Jeff McNeil steps in for his at bat. Two outs here in the top of the first inning. It was a ground out and fly out. Charlie Morton's the pitcher for the Atlanta Braves. Like I said, playoff implications, playoff atmosphere all weekend long, continuing in tonight. First pitch into McNeil. This is hit lined into right field for a base hit. So a two out knock gets McNeil on first base. The New York Mets wearing gray tops, gray bottoms, blue and orange stitching on the letters, and the Atlanta Braves, white top, white bottoms with the red stitching on the letters. Pete Alonso due up. Batting average 268, 40 home runs on the season. Charlie Morton, first time out of the stretch. He sets and delivers, and that pitch is down low for a ball. Tonight's umpires, home plate umpire doing the balls and strike is Mike Estrabrook. First base is Ted Barrett. Second base is Nick Lentz. And the third base is Bruce Dreckman. Bruce called balls and strikes last night. Hey, after this one, just 3 more games. The Atlanta Braves will take off to Miami for a 3-game series, and the Mets will be home to the Washington Nationals. As the pitch is down low, checked with the first base umpire, Ted Barrett, and he said no go. So it's 2-0 now to Pete Alonso. Check swings after looking at the replay. Oh, looked like maybe he went. The 2-1 set, and here's the delivery. That's on the inside corner, called for a strike. Is 2 balls, 1 strike. Here in the top of the first inning. Last 2 nights in this series, the Braves have won the series. Okay, taken both Friday and Saturday night victory, and all thanks to the long ball. And definitely a series that you can't forget from Matt Olson. Several home runs encountered. 2-1 the count as Alonso steps out. Excited for some playoff action. We'll be back against this weekend. Here's the 2-1 outside in the dirt. It's 3-1 now to Alonso. And one thing that we saw early on in last night's game in particular was for Kyle Wright. He had to throw a lot of pitches in the early goings. The Mets have really made him work. A lot of full count statements, a lot of battling at the plate. And as I mentioned, for a playoff atmosphere, there's no seat to be open that can be found. And, the Mets, they know how to make a pitcher work. Here's the 3-1 that's down low. And for ball 4, Pete Alonso advances to first. So it was a good start for Charlie Morton. Grounds out, flies out, gives up a single to McNeil, and now a walk to Alonso. Now steps in is Eduardo Escobar. Escobar 0 for 4 last night. RBI'd back in the first, scoring in Nemo. And the first pitch is up high, called for a ball. It's 1-0. He struck out last night's game. He was 2 for 3 back on Friday night. 2 for 7 total in the series with an RBI, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Batting average is .240. The 1-0 pitch swings and a foul along the first base side to the first base dugout. The Atlanta Braves are sitting on the first base dugout. New York Mets along the third base side. One ball, 1 strike. 2 men on, 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Guys just joining us, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. This one's a fouled back as well, 1-2. Fans getting wild early on here. It's interesting. The first ball game I called this season with a former colleague of mine was the Sunday night baseball between the Braves and the Mets, or in the Reds. And it comes back around in circle as the 1-2 caught looking, and Charlie Morton sets down Escobar for out number 3. The Braves come to bat as we played a half of inning. You guys are listening to Sunday Night Baseball between the Mets and the Braves here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Mets and Braves here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel as the Braves get ready to bat this time. Get you the lineup here real quick just to repeat it. Leading things off is Ronald Acuna Jr., followed by Dansby Swanson, Michael Harris batting third, and in cleanup, Austin Riley. Matt Olson, Travis d'Arnaud will be in the sixth position. In the seventh is Marcelo Zuna, Eddie Rosario in the eighth, and in the ninth is Orlando Arcia. The pitcher for the New York Mets is none other than the 33-year-old right-hander Chris Bassitt. 15-8 on the season, 3.27 ERA, 29 ball games, and 179 pitches, innings, 165 strikeouts. This one's popped up in shallow right. Coming over is McNeil to make the grab. One away. And the Braves kind of got off to a slow start in last night's game. Wasn't able to muster in a run until the middle innings, thanks to a RBI single from Matt Olson to score in Austin Riley, and then the 2-run home run by Swanson, and then a solo home run by Olson later on in the sixth. And once the Braves got going, they never looked back. Here's the first pitch in to Swanson. It's in there, called for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one's on the inside. It's 1-1. And a lot of things are changing after this season in baseball. No more shifts, as we saw plenty of that backfire in last night's ball games. And that's going to change the dynamic of having players needing to find gaps to hit the ball in again. The 1-1 pitch to Swanson, that's in there, called strike. It's 1-2. And then also the pitching clock, 20 seconds between batters. A lot of these veterans like Max Scherzer and Chris Bassitt, 1-2 pitch, chop foul. It's going to have some trouble trying to speed up with the game. These younger guys ain't going to have an issue. Kyle Wright was fine. I don't think Max Scherzer is going to have an issue. He was getting in and getting out. I mean, I think when you go out from pitching off the, when you go from pitching from your regular stance to the stretch, there's a longevity. There's a couple extra seconds given as the 1-2 pitch awaits for Swanson. That's outside. It's 3-1. Cutter, curve, fastball on that one. Ron Washington over there at third base coach. Braves trying to get back to the World Series again. As the 2-2. That's up high. Now it's full count. Michael Harris is up next. He had a really nice leaping catch from Brandon Nemo that was inches away from a home run last night. Midair caught. Here's a 3-2 payoff. Fly ball out to right field, going back to the warning track, looking up, and it's gone. Solo home run from Dansby Swanson, and the Braves get out to an early 1-0 lead. Bassitt just left that a little too much over the plate. 408 feet is the distance, 104.6 miles the exit velocity, and man, the crowd is already all up on their feet. It was a nice patient at bat from Dansby Swanson, looking for his pitch. Had to take a couple late hacks. And on a full count, look at this one. Just a little low, a little above the knees. And he takes that one to right center field for a home run. Showing bunt is Michael Harris, and he pulls back 1-0. So the Braves out in front, 1-0. Dansby Swanson has hit a home run in all three games of this series. as the 1-0 pitch up high in the zone. Checking with the third base umpire. No go. That was in the strike zone. But now it's the 2-0 count to Harris. Batting 301. Here's the 2-0 count. It's in there. This one's called for a strike. Same location as the first pitch. 19 home runs on the season, 64 RBIs. Here's the 2-1. Swing foul back. 1-0 Braves lead. No man on, 1 out in the first inning. And Bassett is one of the guys who decides to choose the actual fingers for the signs as the 2-2 count is fouled off. So we'll replay 2-2. One thing to help the pitch clock is a little faster is the catchers are wearing a device now to send the pitchers and other position players. But the pitch, here's a fly ball out to straightaway center, and Nemo a couple steps back and grabs it for 2 away. So as we see Chris Bassett a little slower on this in his delivery to the plate, next year I think a lot of more pitchers, especially the pitchers that are a little slower at their windup and their delivery set, maybe they're going to have to start working on, hey, let me get acclimated to this whole pitch comm. With the whole pitch comm, the catchers deliver the pitches, send out the pitches. It gets delivered into a vocal point, into the headset, into the hats of the pitchers. First pitch in to Austin Riley is down low for a ball, 1-0. Here's the 1-0 delivery. This one's grounded to short. Lindor backhands it, throws it over to first, and the inning's over. Dansby Swanson, solo home run, puts the Braves out in front 1-0 after 1. You guys are listening to Sunday Night Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Six, seven, and 8 due up here for the Mets in the top of the second inning. Want to give a big shout out and thank you to StreamYard Studios, providing us the home of the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Create your podcasts, YouTube videos, host virtual business meetings, and conduct interviews. all through StreamYard.com. And head on over to StreamYard.com to check out their free version. Charlie Morton's back on the mound. And as we take a look at the playoff picture as of today, congratulations to the San Diego Padres for officially clinching a wild card spot after the Milwaukee Brewers lose today against Miami. And now it's one position left. American League's all winded up, and all we're waiting for in the American League is who is going to be where. And if the playoff picture sets as of today, I'll tell you that as the first pitch to Vogelback is outside for a ball. In the American League, we got Tampa Bay over in Cleveland. And the winner of that series, 3-game series that begins Friday night, the 1-0 is down low, 2-0. We'll go on to face the Yankees in the ALDS. Seattle's over in Toronto, and the winner of that series will face Houston. As we await the 2-0 pitch to Vogelback. This one's hit. Fly ball out to right field. Going back to the wall. And looking up, it's out of here. Jeff McNeil could only look up and watch it sail. Big Daniel Vogelback tying the ball game, 404 yards, 105.7 velocity. It is tied back up at 1. I mean, everyone knew that was gone right when it left the bat. Probably took the wind out of some Braves fans early on. And McNeil over there is just all you could do. Back McNeil, I apologize. Acuna Jr., all you could do is look up. Didn't even make it to the warning track. First pitch in to Marcana. It's in there, called for a strike. Oh, and 1. Cana's 261. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And it's hit. Sharp line drive to left field. And with nobody out and a run in, Mets are looking to add on to the damage. No shift in play this time. It was just over the head of the shortstop. Laying down right in front of Rosario. So 1 on, nobody out. Top of the second inning. Working out of the stretch. Here's the first pitch. It's up high for a ball. Over in the National League side of things, right now the Atlanta Braves leading a game above the Mets. The Padres will be over in New York, and the winner of that series will go on to face the Dodgers. The 1-0 delivery, it's outside for a ball. And Philadelphia right now will be over in St. Louis, and the winner of that series will go on to face the Braves. So, as of today, like I said, one team remains uncertain of their postseason fate. As Morton gets set to throw number 29. Here's a hit line to left field, right to Eddie Rosario to make the grab. 1 down. We're just replaying the solo home run from Vogelback. And he's a dangerous person. Anybody would like to face. Well, we've explained throughout the entire season, the Mets had a nice stretch and nice comfortable lead all the way up until I say about the mid to the end of August. And at the beginning of August, it was neck and neck. And for the last several weeks, the Mets and the Braves have gone back to back with each other of who's going to capture first place. Here's the first pitch. It's in there on the outside corner for a strike. to James McCann. And coming into this series, the Braves were down a game, winning Friday night 5-2. The 0-1 pitch swing and a miss is now 0-2. And then they will go on to win last night in the similar fashion to now have one game above New York. And it's the last home series over the Braves, for the Braves. They'll be headed on the road to Miami. Here's the 0-2 swing and a miss. Goes down McCann for out number 2. I like the way Charlie Morton's battling it back after giving up a home run and a single. Just going right after the last two guys. We return to the top of the lineup to Brandon Nemo, who grounded out back in the first. Sold out crowd yet again. Not a empty seat to be found at Truist Park. Big crowd last night, started popping when the ball started flying. Expect the same thing tonight. New York goes home to face Washington for a 3-game series. This one's popped up foul. It's 0-1. American League National League Wild Card Series starts Friday. 3 games, all played at home. So right now, the Cardinals, the Mets, the Guardians, and the Blue Jays, as this one's hit, lined into right field, getting down, getting away from Acuna, and stopping at second is Kana. Acuna tried to rush to get the ball back in and got away from him, not too far, don't know his throwing arm ability. So with 2 outs, 2 men are on for Francisco Lindor. Now this is Brandon Nemo just doing what he does best, putting the ball in place. You think it would have been a different story if Matt Olson wasn't covering Kana at first, trying to dive to make that catch. As Francisco Lindor steps back up, first pitch is in there, called for a strike. Lindor 0 for 1 last night, 2 for 4 last night, sorry. 0 for 4 on Friday night. And this one's a swing and a miss, an 0-2 count now. 25 home runs, 103 RBIs. People standing at Truist Park on an 0-2 count to Lindor. Morton looking to get out of a jam. Here's the pitch. Ooh. And time was called in time, just as Charlie Morton was getting his delivery set. And it was Lindor calling time right before Morton was delivering, and home plate umpire Mike Estrabrook granted it. Morton made a halfway appearance to home plate, caught him enough time. Here's the 0-2 count, chop foul. Tie ball game, top of the second inning, 2 men on, 2 outs on an 0-2 count. Francisco Lindor, pitch number 4 awaits. Here's the pitch. This one's also fouled back. Replay. Canna at second. Nemo at first. McNeil due up next. Fans standing, cheering on. 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Strike three. Third out of the inning. The Mets get one, strand two. The Braves come to bat in the bottom of the second inning. It's tied at 1 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Five, six, and seven here for the Atlanta Braves. First pitch in to Matt Olson is outside for a ball, 1-0. Welcome back here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. My name is Justin, calling you guys the balls and strikes and play-by-play in tonight's Braves and Mets game. The 1-0 pitch is on the outside for a ball, 2-0. Be sure to check us out Monday mornings, 9 to 11, with the throw-in, covering sports, baseball, football, wrestling, you name it. All the highlights and updates on the throw-in, 9 to 11 weekdays on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. The 2-0 pitch is on the inside, called for a ball. It's 3-0 to Matt Olson. Here's the 3-0 pitch on the outside corner, called for a strike. Now 3-1. Bassett's out there again for the second inning. Only sitting at 20 pitches. It's going to be a pitching duel. And these batters are going to ensure that they get every last pitch they can. The 3-1, that's up high. And Olson draws a walk here to begin the bottom of the second inning. You know, in last night's game, I noticed that the Mets were really aware of the of being pitch selective, and it came in. They had plenty of hits, 8 hits in the game, and right now they're sitting in the first 2 innings at 4 hits, and maybe that was the key thing. Maybe they weren't as aggressive to the plate, being more pitch selective. They were able to get runners on, wasn't able to cross them in, something we saw this past half inning. As we have Travis d'Arnaud stepping in, taking in the first pitch in for a strike. Bottom of the second inning, tied ball game. Olson is on first, drawed to a walk. d'Arnaud comes up to the plate. He's batting .268 on the season. This one's fouled back. It's 0-2. 66 degrees outside, getting chilly in Atlanta. Ball's going to probably carry a little bit more at Truist Park. 11-mile winds going right to left. Another packed crowd in Atlanta. Playoff atmosphere game. And coming up on Friday, there'll definitely be a playoff game as 4 games scheduled for Friday. The 0-2. This one's chopped foul. Replay 0-2. Ozuna is up next. It was a 91 sinker. The 0-2 delivery. That's down low for a ball. It's 1-2. The 1-2 delivery to Darno. This one's hit, lob to short to Lindor at short. A throw over to second will get the first out at second. No play at first. So 1 away, and now Darno is standing at first base. One bounce diving catch attempt was made by Escobar. That passed him to Lindor. Now we await Marcelo Ozuna. That would be a 6-4 putout for the first out of the bottom of the second. Here's the first pitch is down on the dirt. Ozuna batting .223 this season, 22 home runs and 53 RBIs. He was 1 for 3 last night. Haven't really done much to contribute in these last couple of wins. This is the 1-0 pitch. It's in there called strike. It's 1-1. We'll have the playoff picture a little bit more in depth, as well as an out-of-town scoreboard here for tonight. The only game left to be put on. In progress. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Is down inside at the knees, called for a strike. 1-2. Bassett sets on a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Out number 2. That's Bassett's first strikeout. Coming on the hands of an 0-2, a 1-2 count. That was a slider, a sinker, and a curveball. The slider is the one that got him. And 2 away. It was only 73 miles an hour. And Bassett throws anywhere between the 60s and the 100s. A good mix in between. You wonder why he's so dominant. May have remembered Bassett over the years with Oakland. Went over to the Mets. He's had a solid season so far. Here's the first pitch. Heavy swing and a miss. Strike 1. to Eddie Rosario. Bassett in the last 7 games, he's 5 for 1 with a 3.27 ERA. With 44 of those innings pitched, 40 hits are allowed, and 16 runs. This one's fouled back as well. 10 walks on 31 strikeouts. Last outing against Oakland, 8 innings pitched, one of his better outings. 2 other times, the one on the 17th versus Pittsburgh, only went 6 innings, giving up 3 hits, 2 walks. In Chicago, one and which he lost, giving up only in 3 2/3 of an inning, 5 hits, 5 runs, and 2 walks as the 0-2 pitch. This one's also fouled back. So Bassett will like to finish off possibly this season, the regular season at least, getting ready for postseason. He would like to finish off with a good start, going at least 5-6 innings, minimizing the runs and the hits allowed. So does Charlie Morton. Last couple outings haven't been in his favor. 2 outs, 1 on, 0-2 count. And this one's popped up out to center field. Nemo's going back to the left and makes the grab. The Braves strand 1. We are tied after 2. You guys are listening to Sunday Night Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Three, 4, and 5 due up here for the Mets as we head into the top of the 3rd inning. And we'll get started over in the American League as we want to start breaking down games and highlights of the day, as well as news going around Major League Baseball. It's been reported that White Sox manager La Rosa will make his retirement announcement tomorrow with 1 year left on his contract. He's 2 seasons in with the White Sox after complications earlier on this season. I'd like to wish a happy retirement to La Rosa as the first pitch in and waiting for McNeil. It's in there for a called strike. The White Sox, trying to battle into a playoffs earlier this month, fell short just about a week ago after an incredible run by Cleveland, not only sweeping Minnesota, but then went on and swept the Chicago White Sox in a week that was really needed, as the 1-1 count is on the outside for a ball. 1-1. And surprisingly, Minnesota was also on the top of that division throughout the year as well. The 1-1 pitch is a fastball down low. It's 2-1. McNeil waits. 2-1 pitch. The windup in the delivery. And it's hit. Fly ball out to right field. That's looking up, and that is gone. When that comes down, the Mets will have a 2-1 lead here in the third. Number 8 on the season. Try 387 feet and 101 exit velocity. Well, it's been a long ball all weekend long, and I think whoever's hit the most long balls have gotten a higher chance of winning the ball game. Back-to-back innings now, with the Mets hitting a solo home run. The only thing I think would hurt the most is if the Mets could get some runners on base, as Pete Alonso steps in looking at a first pitch inside for a ball. Mets out front 2-1 here in the third inning. Almost went into the chop house up there. Here's the pitch. This is a fly ball out to left field. Coming in is Rosario in front of him. And Alonso will be on first base with nobody out. Well, Charlie Morton looking like he's going to have a game as of last outing as well. Only so far 2 innings pitched. Only 3 strikeouts, but giving up hits after hits. Couple home runs. Not looking so great. Escobar comes up. Morton sets. Here's the pitch. This one's lined into left field. That's going to get down in front of Rosario. Alonso stops at second. A home run and a couple base hits to begin the third inning. Trying to do some damage control, and here's the big and nasty Daniel Vogelback. As everyone's gathering at the mound, try to calm down Charlie Morton. No outs, 2 men on, a run's already scored here in the third. You'd think that you'd try to maybe, I don't know, pitch around Vogelback. Better chances with Cano or Gillimore. Vogelback up, 237. Home run last inning, and this one's on the inside for a ball. Out of town scoreboard will start things off in the American League. All games are final, but this one here tonight. Minnesota Twins dropped a 5-2 deficit over the Tigers. This one's here called for a strike. It's 1-1. The Yankees lost to the Orioles today, 3-1 final score. The Blue Jays beat the Red Sox 6-3. The Guardians beat the Royals 7-5, and the Astros beat the Rays 3-1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's down low, 2-1. The Angels beat the Rangers 8-3 final score. And the Athletics put up 10 runs over the Mariners in a 10-3 final for the American League. Here's the 2-1 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 2-2. The New York Yankees are following Aaron Judge in his Triple Crown watch as he's A few points shy of Araya's batting average, 315. Here's the 2-2 that's in. Down low for a ball. Full count, 2 men on, nobody out here in the top of the third inning. Morton's at pitch number 51 comes to a set. And it's hit right field side, splits the gap into right field. Coming around is Alonso. He's being sent home. Escobar's over to third, and the Mets have a 3-1 lead. It's a simple putting the bat on the ball in this scenario. With nobody out, you got nothing to lose. This one's thigh high. Gets that one on the ground. Splits the right field gap. And it's now 3-1. Still with nobody outs here in the third. Mark Canha 1 for 1 so far tonight. He singled back out to left field back in last inning. Here's the first pitch that's outside for a ball. Jackson Stevens starts warming up in the Braves bullpen. And not a good outing for Charlie Morton, a guy that you really relied on last postseason. And you just question that if the Braves could somehow answer and win this division. Here's the pitch. Lined up to third, gets away, and that's going to be called foul. Riley was charging it and was about to grab it. I don't think he did. Bypassed third base on the foul territory. Well, if he would have touched it on the fair side, it would have been a fair ball by force. But then he decided just to pull away. It bounced foul. Now, this would have been a devastating run if it bounced fair. But he a great ball position for Alex Riley. Knowing how that ball was bouncing, that's something that's hard. That's their only MVP third baseman can do. So it's 1-1 to count now to Canha. Runners on first and third, nobody out. Top of the third inning. 2 runs already scored. Morton sets. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. As I was saying, for the Braves, you kind of want to hope that you win the division to allow a few allow a few days off for Morton, because you're going to expect him to pitch heavily in your postseason this year. Here's the pitch. This one's popped up in the infield. Olsen calls everyone off, and he'll grab it for out number 1. You had a great outing from Kyle Wright, and maybe it feels like he'll be the guy, the go-to guy this season in the postseason. But see, if the Braves make the wild card instead of winning the division, they're going to have to figure this stuff out over the weekend against the Padres. And the Padres already have their starting pitching locked in set. Yu Darvish, Blake Snell, Mike Clevenger. Padres finally getting a postseason chance here. First pitch to Gillimore. 0 for 1 is in there for a strike. Showed a bunt. No, didn't go. Morton sets an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swings and a foul. 0-2. And the Padres, kind of sneaking their way into the postseason now, depending how these next three games set in place for the Padres and the Phillies, they could easily be switched. And then if not, Milwaukee could face in it. The Padres have the better hand over Milwaukee. So if Milwaukee finds a way into the postseason, the Padres will remain the second wild card. But the Phillies have a chance to swap positions with the Padres depending on how the series goes for both teams. This one swing and a miss, caught in the glove for out number 2. Fourth strikeout now for Morton as he's just trying to get out of another jam here in the third inning. You'd wonder, as of 59 pitches, just how long they're going to let him go. You would like to at least get 4 to 5 innings, but the way that Morton's been pitching, 5 batters the first inning, 6 batters the second inning. This is the 7th batter now here in inning number 3. Here's the first pitch. This is grounded right to Olsen at first. Underhand tosses it to Morton, and Morton gets out of a jam. 2 more runs come through. The Mets are out front 3-1. Bottom of the 7th inning, or bottom of the 3rd inning. My mistake. I was looking at the wrong number there. And the Mets are out in front 3-1. 9-1-2 due up here in the bottom half of the inning as Chris Batts is back out there. And one of the big key question is for more so for Charlie Morton, who's already pitched 3 innings and went around the lineup twice. That's going to be probably of a concern in an early night for the bullpen. If he continues to pitch this way, you'd kind of maybe figure try to get one more inning out of him. But we'll see in the top of the 4th. That's exactly how that works. But 9-1-2 for the Braves, trying to get something going here in the bottom half of the inning. Braves scored their only run back in the first off of a Swanson home run. First pitch in by Bassett is in there for a called strike. Well, for Bassett, you wonder, hey, get a couple good outings before the end of the season. And you're going to have a good outing when you could have your team give you some run support. Here's the pitch, and that one is taken 1-1. Lander Arcia has been a big contribute to the Braves team and a big success since Albies went down. This is lined into right field, base hit for Arcia. Ball just down and away, takes it opposite field on the ground, splitting the gap. And the instinct for a first baseman is to go to first base. I wouldn't think Pete Alonso had a chance anyways. So runner on first, and here's the first pitch to Acuna. That is down low for a ball, 1-0. And maybe, one of these things you have to start worrying about here, especially if you're the Mets and Braves, you're sitting here saying, okay, both of us are going to be in the postseason. Well, it's just a matter of who's going to win the division and get the weekend off, and who's going to have to go home and play either the Padres or Phillies. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. It's 1-1. And you kind of wonder now if you're Mets or Braves, yeah, you want to win the division, but how much of it winning the division is going to help you if you battle the next 3 to 4 days and you don't win the division? Now you're forced into 1 day off. The momentum's not going your way, and now you got to go home and have a 3-game series. I feel like that's the only advantage. The only 2 advantages is for a team to have the home game. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This is chopped. Foul. It's 1-2. The only advantage that these 2 teams have, if you play the wild card series, is one, you have all 3 games at home. They're not traveling on the road. And I believe it's going to be a Friday, Saturday, Sunday series, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be done quickly. And then on top of that, hopefully any momentum you have, but you kind of want to make sure you rest your starters if you're going to play Friday night. Here's the pitch. This one is yet again chopped foul. We'll replay 1 and 2. Acuna Jr. popped out back in the first. A runner on first, nobody out, bottom of the 3rd inning. Braves trying to get something going here. Trying not to trail too long into this game. You get to the bullpen for the Mets, and it's almost lights out. Reason why they're in the postseason. Haven't seen much of the better side of the Mets bullpen as of yet. Don't want to see them tonight as well. Here's the pitch. It's down low and away. 2-2. So, yeah, you're kind of battling this season. It's a great battle. You go into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday against the Nationals, against the Marlins, and you'll have a great series. But, you want to make sure everyone's healthy. And there is such thing as overdoing it, overworking yourself where you're not healthy. And you get stuck in this scenario facing a 3-game Padres team who already know they're in the playoffs. Over the next day or 2, they probably know who they're going to face, and they're going to work on getting ready for that game. The 2-2 pitch. This one's inside. Full count. Swanson's up next. The Braves making Bassett work tonight also. 43 pitches so far in inning number 3. The payoff pitch. This one's fouled back. And, the Braves have their struggles going into the postseason. The Mets surely have their struggles. I think the last thing you want to do is definitely become a wild card and have to face the Padres. And then if you could survive the Padres, having to go on to face the Dodgers in LA. Dodgers captured game number 10 last night, 110 in a win. Here's the payoff pitch again. This one's outside. Acuna draws a walk. Dodgers beat the Rockies last night 6-4. Lost today 4-1. Dansby Swanson's comes up to the plate. He's 1-for-1 with a home run out to center field back in the first inning. The only run for the Braves so far. Arcia singled to right. Acuna walked in this bat. Brave fans getting tensed already. First pitch on the outside, 1-0. And Batson knows what he has to deal with. He's going to probably be pitching very carefully to Swanson especially. 2 men on, nobody out. 3-1 the Mets lead here in the third inning. Here's the pitch. That's down low. It's 2-0. Fans trying to find something to get into it here early on. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Swanson. That's down low. 3-0. Harris is up next. He flew out to center field back in the first. Now wanting to pitch to... You just don't want to leave anything out over the plate more than anything else. Here's the 3-0. Swing and a miss for the first strike. 3-1. That was a nice sinker. 93 miles down the middle. Just a little late on it. All you're doing is just giving a little confidence in Chris Bassett there. Here's the 3-1 pitch. This has popped up. Flew out to center field. A few steps back for Nemo. Just shy of the warning track. Makes the grab. Arcia is tagging. Both men are tagging. And they advance up 90 feet. The play in the second was not in time. This one here, right down the middle again. Just, I don't know, just literally right there between the grass and the turf right there. And both men tag with the speed. Acuna makes it in safely to second, but gets dirt in his eyes. Let's say that's a sacrifice fly. Way to go. So both men advance. 2 men on second and third. The ball gets away from McCann. No one advances the ball down in the dirt. So it's 1-0 to Michael Harris. Big defensive player of the game last night in the Braves' victory. For the wildcard position in the AL West, in the American League, Toronto is a 4-game comfortable spot. Here's pitch on the way on the inside. In the lap of Harris is 2-0. The Blue Jays, 4 games comfortably leading the wild card, followed by Seattle, which is about 2.5 games out. So Toronto could clinch up that first wild card spot here early on this week. Seattle, a game and a half above Tampa Bay. We know that Baltimore's eliminated. So Tampa Bay, Seattle, and Toronto will decide this week. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's inside. Called for a strike. 2-1. And so, as of right now, if things stand, it looks like Toronto will have that home game series. Seattle will face them most likely on the road, and it'll be Toronto, either Tampa Bay or Seattle. Here's this pitch, chop fouled. Counts tied 2-2. So Tampa Bay right now sits going to Cleveland this Friday. Seattle going over to Toronto. That could change depending how the week unfolds. One away, bottom of the third inning, 2 men on, 2-2 pitch, 3-1 Mets lead. Bassett. Looks like they changed from the pitch delivery to the pitch calm. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This is one foul left field side. It's going to be a souvenir. American League Wild Card is going to be played on ESPN. Well, the entire Wild Card series planning on being on the ESPN. The ALDS will be on TBS, as the NLDS will be on Fox televised area. As the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, out number 2. Second strikeout for Bassett of the evening. And this is really the first big jam that Bassett's had to deal with. And now he has to face Austin Riley. Riley 0 for 1, grounded it in the first. Fans into it, trying to gain a couple of runs here in the bottom half of the inning. Mets scored 2. See if the Braves can answer back. Here's the first pitch. It hit him in the elbow. Man. Got away from Bassett there, and now the bases are loaded. And I don't know if this was a good or bad thing. And it looked like he was trying to pitch him in, went too far in there, hit him on the elbow guard. And for the Braves, you kind of want this bat to be alive. But now you turn it over to Matt Olson, who walked in the second inning to try to score in some runs. And I don't know if Matt Olson's any better of a choice to face than Austin Riley. He was a participant in a home run back in the 6th inning in game 2 of this 3-game series. Bases loaded, 2 outs. The first pitch to Olson. That's on the outside corner, called for a ball. Catcher James McCann not liking that one bit. I can tell you, sit tight, folks. It's probably going to be a long night. This win over the Mets, sweeping the Mets here. A win here tonight for the Braves does wonders for the postseason in the NL East. Here's the 1-0 on the inside. It's 2-0. Inside corner, I'll give you this one as a ball. Arcia on third. Acuna Jr. on second. Riley on first. A single, a walk, and a hit by pitch are how all 3 men are on base. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's up high in the face. 3-0. Travis d'Arnaud up next. All fans are on their feet here early on as we await pitch number 31 or 61. 3-0 pitch. That one's in there, called for a strike. Everyone's bouncing, ready to go. All runners ready to go off of contact here. If the ball's hit, I know Acuna's ready to score in from second. I'm sure Riley could score in from first. 27 pitches Bassett has thrown this inning. Here's the 3-1. Outside, ball 4. Second walk allowed in this inning. And with the bases loaded, trots the lead down to 3-2. And here's now a mound visit. And man, this inning alone probably would have gotten away. A big top half of the first inning, or third inning, led off with a home run by Jeff McNeil. Then Alonso singles, Escobar singles, Vogelback singles, scoring in Alonso. 2 runs scored in the top half of the inning. Arcia singles, followed by Acuna's walk and a sacrifice fly from Swanson, scoring in or advancing the runners. Strikeout to Harris and a walk hit by pitch by Riley, just for Olsen to walk. Bullpen active for the Mets, as Travis d'Arnaud steps up 0 for 1 on the night. He advanced to the first, but on a ground out. First pitch, swing and a miss, called for a strike, 0-1. Batting .267, 18 home runs, 58 RBIs. A little bit of fatigue in there for Bassett. Looks like it's going to be an early bullpen session for both squads. Here's the 1-0-1. That one's in there. Called for a strike. 94-mile sinker. It's 0-2. Crowd's into it. Fans up on their feet. And the notorious chant, Tomahawk Chop. Here's a 0-2 pitch. That one's left on the inside. It's 1-2. Long inning here already played. We're already an hour and 20 minutes into this ball game. Here's the 1-2 swing foul. That was a slider on the outside of the plate. Would have called for a ball. The Mets, 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Braves, 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. Bases loaded. 2 men away. Looks like Morton Knights is done, possibly. Here's a 1-2 up high. Almost got away. It's 2-2. Pitch number 68 coming up. Well over 30 pitches this inning alone. Now you need Bassett to go at least 3 innings. Had a good outing in the loss last night with Max Scherzer, but you need to get out of this jam. Here's the 2-2. Bassett delivers, fouls. Replay, 2-2. I mean, even at 68 pitches, I wouldn't put it past you that Bassett could go out there and go at least another inning. Charlie Morton, he's faced the lineup twice already, and he's given up 8 hits. Well, this is why Buck Showalter, Brian Snitker, managers of these 2 ball clubs, they manage these ball clubs for a reason. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one, yet again, chopped foul. Bassett, exhausted. You can see him just rolling his head, ready to get out of this inning. Fans are loving it. Pitch number 35 so far. Number 36 is upon us. Three-two Mets. Here's the 2-2. This one's hit right up the middle. Acuna is around to score. Coming in is Riley. Olsen's over in at third. It's 4-3 Braves. 2-out base hit. You know, Bassett's showing fatigue, just hanging a little too over the plate, even though it's down. No one's playing straight up the line, and he's it right back up the middle. You know, everyone's going as soon as the crack of the bat. Olsen's testing his speed, heading on the way to third, standing in safely, and Riley sliding into home. Braves are now out in front 4-3. And now, at the end of the bottom of this inning, it's a whole new ball game, as Chris Bassett is being sent to the dugout in an early pitching change. Who'd have thought a pitching change is here, necessary for the Mets and for Chris Bassett? It's 4-3 Braves. We'll tell you all about the pitching change coming up here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Not a good outing from Bassett. First pitch on the inside. No, didn't go around. It's 1-0 now to Marcell Ozuna. Trevor May is on the mound for the Mets. 2-0 on the season, 5.56 ERA, 22 innings pitched, 1 save on the record, and 27 strikeouts. Pitched out back on Friday night. Here's the 1-0 pitch, swing, and a miss. The Braves up front, 3 runs in this inning. They're up front 4-3. Chris Bassett, not a good outing. Not a good outing. And that's going to be, these are the 2 concerns now. You just, I mean, you want a good outing as with your pitchers, especially heading into the offseason, no matter, regardless if you're in the postseason or not. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's swing and a miss for strike 2. You got Olsen on third, Darno at first. Braves trying to advance this lead. You know, the Braves got out to the 1-0 lead early on. The Mets had to answer back to that. Here's the pitch on the outside. It's 2-2. So now it looks like it's going to be a bullpen session. I don't know if you'd feel comfortable enough trying to go and throw Morton out there for another inning. Tough battle all weekend long. Pitching duels after pitching duels. Here's the 2-2 count. This one's popped up. Infield, Pete Alonso on the foul, right field's foul territory will make the grab at the warning track. Out number 3, but 3 runs have scored. The Braves are back out in front, 4-3. You guys are listening to Sunday Night Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Top of the lineup here for the New York Mets. Been out on the field for quite some time. Almost believed that they weren't going to come back for another at bat here around. As the Braves are out front, 4-3, and Charlie Morton is set to go back out there. He's at 61 pitches, not so bad. He's been rough. It's been rough for the first 3 innings of game play. As he shakes off the signs, looking to get it again. Brandon Nemo, 1 for 2, singled back in the second inning. And here's the first pitch. It's in there, called for a strike. So Chris Bassett can't lose the game or can't win the game. He went 2 2/3 of an inning, giving up 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks. That's including of a hit batter and 2 strikeouts. Here's the pitch, chop foul. 0-2. Bassett also allowed a home run. And at one point this season, the Mets were up above the Braves by One game. 10 games. Sorry. 10 games the Mets were leading the Braves. Here is the 0-2. Caught looking on the inside corner. One away. Hey, give me another inning or two just like this. We'll be five. 5 strikeouts for Charlie Morton. And 3 1/3 of an inning. Here comes Francisco Lindor. 0 for 2 on the night. And it's anything tonight just to get one step above the New York Mets, whether that's one more hit over the Mets, whether that's one more walk, one more home run. First pitch into Lindor is for a strike. One more inning pitch from your starter. I mean, I'm not saying that the next 3 games that both the Mets and the Braves are going to be easy or are going to be hard by necessarily means. Here's the pitch fouled back. It's 0-2 now. But the Mets go home to face the Nationals. You know it's going to probably be a nice crowd over there Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then you also have the Braves going to Miami to face the Marlins. Here's the pitch, grounded up to short to Swanson. Throws it over to first for out number 2. Well, every game we sit here and we give you a trivia question for you guys to answer, and kicking things off because the Braves are at home. We'll get things started with the Braves trivia question, which we'll answer in the bottom half of the inning. Tonight's trivia question is, who is the only Braves player to have played for the organization in all 3 cities it has called home? Is it A, Bob Elliott, B, Hank Aaron, E, Eddie Matthews, or D, Warren Spahn? First pitch is down low for a ball to Jeff McNeil. Trivia question again, who is the only Braves player to have played for the organizations in all 3 cities it has called home? Here's the 1-0 pitch. Now it's 2-0. Right in the same location. A, Bob Elliott, B, Hank Aaron, C, Eddie Matthews, or D, Warren Spahn? We'll give you the answers bottom half of the inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch, swings and a foul. Got Joseph Smith answering Hank Aaron for that one. We'll let you know. Here's the 2-1. This one's fouled off. 2-2. Thank you, Joseph Smith, for being down in the comments tonight. You guys want to weigh in your thoughts and your opinions? Please let us know. 2 outs, 2-2 count to Jeff McNeil. Here's the windup in the pitch. This one's grounded it to second base. Toss it over will be Arcia, and that will end the inning. 1-2-3 set down for Morton. First 3 batter inning for Morton on the game. The Braves out front 4-3. And the first pitch on the way to Eddie Rosario is in there for a strike. Welcome back here to the Braves and Mets as we play in bottom half of inning number 4. As the 0-1 pitch, swing and a miss. Braves trying to get back to the World Series again. Something that happened last year. Rosario 0 for 1, 5 home runs, batting .214. May is out there for another inning. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one's chopped foul. A little look around football today. The Vikings beat the Saints in London. That was an early morning series if you guys missed that game for any means necessary. Falcons beat the Browns 23-20. A little impressed by that one. The Bills overcome the Ravens. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one's popped up in the air. Out shallow left for Escobar. He'll make the grab. One away. The Cowboys beat the Commanders 25-10. And the big question coming out of Dallas is what do they do coming up next week? Does Cooper Rush get the start or will they rescind Dak Prescott back out there? Cooper Rush has been dominant against for the Cowboys since he came into play, replacing Prescott. First pitch on the way to Arcia. It's in there, called for a strike, 0-1. Chargers beat the Texans 34-24. Titans beat the Colts 24-17. Giants beat the Bears 20-12. This one's a swing and a miss. Or just foul back, my mistake. It's 0-2. Eagles beat the Jaguars 21-9 or 29-21. The Jets beat the Steelers 24-20. Will we see Kenny Pickett soon? Cardinals beat the Panthers 26-16. Here's the pitch down on the dirt. It's 1-2 now, the count. Packers beat the Patriots 27-24. And the Raiders picked up their first victory on the season, 32-23. Here's the 1-2. This one's fouled off again. Another good battle for Orlando Arcia. Arcia is 1 for 1. He scored back in last inning, single to right field. Sunday Night Football going in place. The Chiefs are beating the Buccaneers at the end of the first quarter, 14-3. This one's up high. It's now 2-2 to count to Arcia. And the question is more so is one, I think two things is one has the Wednesdays being off for Tom Brady catching up to him, and two, as the 2-2 pitch, chopped foul again. And two, how much of outside of football is affecting his play on the field? Here's the 2-2 count to Arcia. And that's a swing and a miss for out number 2. Well, we asked you guys back here in the top of the inning who was the only player to have played for the organization in all 3 cities it has called home. I gave you the 4 choices: A, Bob Elliott; B, Hank Aaron; C, Eddie Matthews; or D, Warren Spahn. I got Joseph Smith down in the comments below. He first picked Hank Aaron, and then he looked it up, saying Eddie Matthews, Braves one time, was called Boston Braves in 1871. So, as the first pitch into Acuna Jr. is in there for foul, called strike, the answer is I'm going to choose Eddie Matthews with him, and that is correct. One of the best third basemen ever to play the game. Matthews played with the Braves for their last season in Boston, and the team's the entire tenure in Milwaukee, and their first season in Atlanta. Congratulations to Joseph Smith. Thank you for playing along. Tune us back in to the 8th inning as we give you a Mets trivia question. The 1-1 count, fouled back. It is 1-2. We like to give trivia questions just for the fun of it for our listeners. In the 4th and 8th inning, one team goes in the 4th, the other team goes in the 8th. We'll do that all week long next week. And here's the 1-2 pitch, caught looking. 1, 2, 3 go down the Braves. After 4, the Braves are out front, 4-3. Here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. As we await the 5th inning, here the first pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-1 count to Pete Alonso, kicking off 4, 5, and 6 due up. He's 1 for 1, scored back in the 3rd inning. As the Braves are out front 4-3. Charlie Morton back at it again, 1, 2, 3, top half of the 4th. Here's the first pitch, fly ball out to right field. Going back to the warning track is Acuna, and he'll make the grab just a few steps away from the fence, 1 away. And boy, every time a ball is hit out there to right field, I get a little worried. A lot of balls flying over the wall. And here comes up Eduardo Escobar. Looks at a ball down in the dirt, 1-0. He's 1 for 2 on the evening. Struck out looking back in the first. NL East has never had 2 teams finish with 100+ wins on the season. A swing and a miss. Count goes tied 1-1. And with the Braves sitting at 98 and with the Braves sitting at 99 and the Braves sitting at 98, there's a very good possibility that will happen. The 1-1 counts outside is 2-1. 87-mile changeup. Morton pitch number 77 here. Here's the 2-1. Outside, 3-1. Daniel Vogelback is due up next. You wonder if they're going to let Morton pitch to Vogelback. Here's the 3-1 pitch. This one's down the middle for a strike. Full count. Vogelback 2 for 2, a home run, 2 RBIs, and a run in this game. Here's the payoff pitch. This one's hit, lined into left field. Base hit. So with the man out, another single on Escobar's record for tonight. That may very well be it for Charlie Morton. It's just nice 2-strike protection. You don't want to sit there and, I mean, I think you could sit there and get the walk all you want, but, and I'd take it, but a nice lop over into left field. And so that will be it for Charlie Morton. A standing ovation given to him as he exits the ball game, responsible for the runner on first. We'll tell you all about Dylan Lee when we come back. Braves out in front, 4-3. And the first pitch into Daniel Vogelback, swinging and a foul tipped off of his foot. Dylan Lee is due up. Morton is done for the night, pitching 5 1/3. We'll tell you more about him later on in the game. Dylan Lee comes in, not responsible for the runner on first. That will be responsible for Morton. With 1 away, 1 on first, 0-1 the count. And a swing and a miss, strike 2. Well, you may saw Lee last night because he pitched last night in an inning after Wright came out of the game. He pitched 1 inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. In the last 7 games, he's 1-0. In 7 games, he's pitched 7 1/3, 2 hits allowed, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. This one here is fouled back. Replay 0-2. And I don't think even if you got the out, you wouldn't allow Morton to hit to face Vogelback in the the third time around. So we saw Lee last night. He's pitching again in tonight's action. We're in the top of the fifth inning. The 0-2 down in the dirt. It's 1-2. A runner on, 1 man out, 1-2 to count, and here's the pitch. This one's down in the dirt. Nice stop. Nice blockage there from Darno. Lee sets. Here's the pitch. This one's chopped foul again. Good at bat. I feel like right now, for the rest of the at bat for Alvarez, who has replaced Vogelback halfway through the game. This DH spot is very crucial. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one's down in the dirt. Full count. A runner on first, one away. Top of the fifth inning. 4-3 Braves lead. Here's the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 down. Pitch down and low. Looks like Alvarez was upset with himself. As we talked a little bit about football this past inning, Monday Night Football is tomorrow. Los Angeles Rams over in San Francisco to face on Jimmy Garoppolo. And an epic Monday Night Football throwdown. Here's the first pitch to Kana. It's fouled back for a strike. And I'm a big fan of Jimmy Garoppolo. And he's gotten a few, he's finally gotten his chance to get a start. Finally gotten his chance to settle in. You expect big things. And you think about a guy who probably wants a big contract extension, especially after now getting the opportunity of not being a backup over Trey Lance. You'd have to make it back to the pro season and have a big year expected out of Jimmy G. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is grounded right back to first to Olsen. He'll take it himself, and the inning's retired. The Mets restrained a runner on first as they are still down 4-3 here on Sunday Night Baseball on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Seth Lugo is on the mound for the Mets here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. First pitch swinging and a miss for a strike one to Dansby Swanson. Swanson is 1 for 2. The sacrifice flying to third. A home run in the first inning as he fouled the next pitch off. It's 0-2. Seth Lugo pitched last night in a third of an inning. He's back out there again tonight, 3-2 on the season, 3.57 ERA, 3 saves recorded in 63 innings, and 67 strikeouts. And it's surely been the home run bowl the entire night, the entire weekend. Packed house in Atlanta. Another sellout game. First pitch, 7:10 on the evening. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one's fouled back. 93-mile fastball. Nice chilly night. The ball flies and carries a little bit more. That's what you love about October baseball. Here's the 0-2. That's down low. Outside corner for a ball. 1-2. And now this is going to be a bullpen duel between both teams. This one's hit, lined it down to Escobar at third. Throws it over to first for the first out. One away here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Guys, be sure to check out Monday mornings, 9 to 11 every day of the week, Monday through Friday. The Throw-In with Justin, available here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We'll break down the Cincinnati Reds over the Chicago Cubs, 1 game away from losing 100 games this season. As the first pitch on the way to Harris is in there for a called strike. We'll talk about the NFL highlights and much more. Kicking things off on a weekday, Monday morning, 9 a.m. Check us out, TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. 0-1 pitch outside for a ball. Here's the 1-1 delivery. That one's down in the dirt on a hopper. It's 2-1. Harris struck out, flew out. As we mentioned throughout the entire weekend, especially in this game, the Braves have a 1-game lead over the Mets as of right now. The 2-1's in there. Here's the 2-2. Right back off of the pitcher. Over to Luis at second. Tosses over to Alonso in time for the out, 2 away. That's a 4-3 play with 1 as an assist. Hit off his glove, directed to second base. That one got away from Seth. That would have been a single. Two outs here in the fifth inning for Austin Riley. Hit by pitch, came around later in the third to score. First pitch delivery. It's outside for a ball. Here's the 1-0. That one's outside also, 2-0. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Riley. A heavy swing and a miss. Called for a strike, 79-mile fastball. And it's 2-1. A lot of these players for the Braves signed The Braves look like a solid team for the rest of 2020 in the 20s. There's another swing and a miss. And the count goes tied 2-2. Matt Olson signed to 2030. Riley signed until next year, contract year. Maybe get a contract extension. They didn't get one on Freeman the offseason. Maybe you get one on Riley. This one's out and away for a ball. Full count now to Austin Riley. 2 down here in the 5th. That's trying to get to back to the top of the inning. Here's a line drive to Lindor on a couple of bounces. Throwed it over to Alonso, and the inning was over. 5 is in the book here in Atlanta, and the Braves are out front 4-3. You're listening to the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We head into the top of the 6th inning. We'd like to give a big shout out to StreamYard Studios. Create your podcast, YouTube videos, host virtual business meetings, and even conduct your own interviews. Thank you, StreamYard Studios, for being the proud home of the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Lee's back out there for another inning as the first pitch is in for a ball up high to Luis Guillermo. And I apologize if I butcher that name left and right. The Braves are up front 4-3, and we're in the inning number 6. Here's the pitch. 1-0 count is in there for a strike. 1-1. The Braves and the Mets are tied in the series 9-9 apiece. You can't picture this any perfect. The Braves currently have a 1-game lead over the Mets in the National League East. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one is fouled back 1-2. And so here's how the scenario goes down. The Braves goes on to win this game. They become 2 games above the Mets. They become above the game. They become a game above the Mets in the series of the year against the Mets. They go 10-7 and 10-9. And if it comes down to a tiebreaker on Wednesday, this one's called out on strikes, looking one away here in the 6th. So if it's a tie, both teams are tied at the end of the season, the winner of tonight's game will have the upper advantage, and there won't be no game 163. It's whoever wins tonight's game if the season is concluded with both teams tied. So if the Braves win, they will have the upper advantage. The Mets will basically need a win out, and the Braves will need a lose out. The Braves going over to Miami, and then you have the Mets going home to Washington. This one's down low. 1-0 to James McCann. 0 for 2 on the night, strikeout and a ground out. Love how everything falls into place. As we take a look at the National League standings as of today. This one's outside for a ball. Around out-of-town scoreboard here for the National League side. The Braves, the White Sox, the only interleague game with the Padres, who clinched their wild card position thanks to a Milwaukee loss today, lost to the White Sox 2-1. The 2-0 pitch outside. It's 3-0 now to James McCann. Philadelphia beat Washington 8-1. The Miami Marlins talking about knocking out the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's the 3-0 pitch is in there, called for a strike. They beat the Brewers 4-3 today. And not only that, they took the 3 of 4 games in the series over the weekend. So the Braves are going to have their handful coming into tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Pittsburgh beat St. Louis 7-5. Here's the 3-1 pitch. This one's hit. Fly ball out to right field, just hooking foul. 3-2. And the interesting note on that is that in the middle of the game, it was Adam Wainwright and Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols for one last time in St. Louis. And they both, when Adam Wainwright was done and he was being pulled, both Yadier Molina and Albert Pujols walked off into the dugout. Standing ovation and everything, getting the curtain call. And that's the last sight you'll see in the regular season for those three men. You don't have to be a Cardinals fan. You don't have to be a Pujols or Wainwright fan or even a Molina fan, but you got to respect what they've accomplished this year. Here's a ground ball to Riley. Tosses over to first, a tagging play, sliding attempt. Out number 2. Back to the top of the lineup here. Brandon Nemo, 1 for 3. A ground out single and a strikeout looking. As McCann went for a diving catch. Looking, just replay, looking at that play. Almost looked like he didn't tag him. Tagged him more up in the chin. So Lee's taking on Nemo here. First pitch is up high. 1-0. The Cubs sweep the Reds in 3 games against Wrigley. They'll go over to Great American Ballpark to wrap up their 3-game series on the season. The Reds are sitting at 60-99. They would have to sweep the Cubs in order to avoid a 100-game loss. It's 1-0 pitch is down the middle for a strike. It's 1-1. San Francisco beats the Diamondbacks 4-3. As we mentioned earlier, the Rockies beat the Dodgers 4-1. That's your out-of-town scoreboard for National League. The 1-1 up high. National League standings look at this way. Currently, the Dodgers 110 wins. The Braves sitting 1 game away from 100 wins. The Mets 2 games away from 100 wins. There'll be 3 teams in the National League with 100 wins. The most the American League could do if Yankees sweep out their series against the Texas Rangers. Count goes to 3-1 now to Brandon Nemo. Francisco Lindor's on deck. Pitch number 25 coming out of Lee. The Padres sealed up a wild card. Undecisive if they're finished second or third in the wild card. Philly is 2 games above Milwaukee. The 3-1 pitch is in there for a called strike 3-2. And basically, if Philadelphia, if they win basically tomorrow, and they'll be facing in Houston, if they could win 1 game of the series, they'd automatically clinch. Just figure out the spots, just like the American League wild card. But we know the Mets are going to have the home game. Here's the payoff pitch, 2 away, top of the 6th inning. And this one's fouled back. I'll replay that. Excited that baseball is winding down for the regular season. Playoff races here. Wild card weekend next weekend. 3 games next weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 4-3 Braves lead. Nemo on a 3-2 count. Payoff pitch. Here we go. That one's down low. He draws a walk. Looking at him sprint down to first. Keeping the inning alive with the walk here. Looks like that's going to be it for Dylan Lee. A solid outing. He'll be responsible for Nemo at first if he shall go around to score. We'll talk about the new pitcher coming in. Colin Mchugh. Right here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Colin Mchugh, 35-year-old veteran right-hander coming into the game. He's 3-2, 2.56 ERA, and 73 strikeouts here to face Francisco Lindor. 2 away here in the 6th. 1 are on. First pitch, swing and a foul to first base side. Oh, 1 the count to Lindor. He's 0 for 3 today. 272 batting average, 25 home runs. His only thing issued was a strikeout, a flyout, and a groundout. Mchugh trying to close things out, send his team to the bottom half of the inning. It was a pitch, swing and a miss, strike two. Everyone shifted over in the infield. Like I said, that's one of the things that's going to be gone next year. Yeah, second baseman Arcia playing shallow right. That and the pitch count or the pitch clock is going to be in place. And swing and a miss goes down Lindor. One batter face from Mchugh, and he ends the inning. A runner left on first as we play 5.5. The Braves are out in front 4-3 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. We're back here in the bottom of the sixth inning as the 1-0 pitch is in there. Swing called for a strike on the outside corner from Matt Olson. 2 walks and an RBI. Here's the 1-1. And that is launched out to right center field looking up. And you could kiss that one goodbye. 5-3 Braves. Oh, ungodly God in this one. 410 feet, 108 exit velocity. And as soon as that one left the bat of Matt Olson, you knew that was out of here. Just dug straight down the middle from Lugo. And that one was a batting practice, if not a home run derby ball. Makes it number 33 on the season as we await Travis d'Arnaud. Here's the first pitch that's in there for a called strike. It's going to be pretty hard for the Mets if they drop this game to be swept. Do you think about it? Getting swept by the Braves, take over in the NL East? This one's chopped foul. It's 0-2. Fans have not sat down since the home run Brave fans are into it. Gosh, why wouldn't you be? Defending World Series champs trying to make it back to the playoffs in fashion. This one's down in the dirt. It's 1-2. Make it back to the postseason, win the division, get the weekend off. Get your guys some rest after some tough battles, and they're gonna have a weak battle here in Miami. Here's the 1-2, caught looking, first out of the inning. Met fans look out of it. And Marcelo Ozuna 0 for 2 comes up. He has a 32 angle launch for that home run for Matt Olson. That's the second home run for the Braves this series, this game. For Matt Olson, you talk about a guy who hit a long ball back in last night's game in the 6th inning, same 6th inning solo home run. First pitch in for Ozuna was a ball. The next one's called for a strike, so it's 1-1. So Olson's been able to hit back-to-back home runs in games. Another game in 3 straight games. And this is a good time for the Braves to be on fire. So one count is in there, called for a strike on the outside corner. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way to Ozuna. That's on the outside edge. 1-1. Austin Riley did that back in 2001. Chipper Jones in 99. Andrew Jones in 98 and 06. Dale Murphy 78 and 87. Dansby Swanson and Matt Olson this year alone. And this series alone. This one's checks with the first debate umpire, no go. The count's tied, counts full 3-2. Now to Ozuna. One away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. And you think this is a playoff game. This was swing and a miss by Ozuna, so it goes down on strikes. 2 strikeouts after a home run's given up for Seth Lugo. And playoff atmosphere all weekend long continues into tonight's ball game. And this is the reason why. This normally would just be an average night in any other given ballpark. But this is the why I chose this season and this series as the first pitch in. Chop up the inside of the field for Lugo. He'll grab it, throws it over to first, and that'll end the side. 3, 4, and 5 due out for the Mets in the 7th. They have their work cut out for them. Braves extend their lead 5-3 as we played 6 here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Raciel Iglesias is expected to come in and take care of the heart of the lineup here as we get ready for 3, 4, and 5 due up for the top of the 7th inning. Welcome back here to Sunday Night Baseball between the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves, as the Braves are out front 5-3. As the first pitch in to McNeil is in there, called for a strike. Now, Iglesias has pitched in the last 2 games of the series so far. He went out last night giving out 2 strikeouts. He gave up 1 hit on Friday night with the strikeout. It's been lights out, and obviously not looking in for the save, as this one is also in for a strike. It's 0-2 to McNeil. So Iglesias is probably looking to get at least 3 batters, get this inning through. If he goes 1, 2, 3, he may be asked to pitch the 8th. I would highly doubt to see him in the 9th inning for the rest of this game. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one's foul. As we head into the last 3 games of the series, or the last series set on the season for both of these teams, especially for the Braves, you kind of have to factor in. I know it's 1 game at a time, right? And for right now, we're focused in on this game, completing this game. But, you got to have to consider that, hey, Miami took 3-4 against Milwaukee. This one's chopped foul along the first base side for replay 0-2. Well, as I mentioned, Miami took 3-4 against Milwaukee, who, you want to play some sabotaging to some postseason opportunities. That's the way to do it. And they're probably not looking to lay on their backs in the 3-game series that they have upcoming with the Braves. This one's check swing with the third base umpire. That's called for a ball. It's now 1-2 to McNeil. McNeil 2 for 3, a home run in this ball game. Home run back in the 3rd inning to get things and to get the rally going for 2 runs to be scored that inning alone. Nobody on, nobody out. Top of the 7th inning, Atlanta leads 5-3. Iglesias sets, and as soon as he gets started with his windup, home plate umpire stops him for time. Here's the 1-2 count. That one's tapped into left field for a base hit. So the Mets get a runner on to get something going here in the 7th inning. Now remember Iglesias with the Reds and then with the Angels for the time before coming over to Atlanta. It was always a consistent of inconsistency with him. And he's definitely changed out of the round with the last few teams he's been with, and especially now with Atlanta getting an opportunity to pitch in the postseason. But you wonder if 3 games, it was just a little too much for him. As the first pitch is down low in the dirt. Haven't seen a whole lot of Iglesias as of late. But he's dealing with the tough part of the lineup. And you must really have some trust into this guy if you're really letting him go after 3 consecutive days and trying to get into this out of the 7th inning. This one's hit foul from Pete Alonso. It's 1-1 the count. Alonso 1 for 2. Got AJ Mincer in the bullpen warming up. A runner on first, nobody out. Here's the 1-1 pitch. This one's popped up. Right center field, all 3 men going back, calling it up. It's Arcia as he makes the grab for 1 away. He had to travel pretty far out there into the outfield. And that ball was just on the inside. If it was a little bit more over the plate, we could be looking at a tie ball game. Eduardo Escobar coming up. He's 2 for 3, having himself a nice night. A couple of singles on the radar with the strikeout. followed by Alvarez here. There's the first pitch, swinging and a miss. A double play action would be nice for the Braves. Get them out of the seventh, heading to the bottom half. Add on to the 5-3 lead they have already. Times called ass from Escobar. Three home runs Friday, 2 home runs Saturday, and 2 home runs Sunday so far for the Atlanta Braves. It's been a home run scenario as the 0-1 pitch is outside for a ball. Here's the 1-1. This is popped up out to left center field. Coming in as Harris, and he'll make the grab, 2 away. McNeil is still at first base, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th inning. In for Francisco Alvarez, who comes into play. He's batting .260, 27 home runs on the seat in the minors, looking for his first major league knock. This one's hit right to Arcia at second. They'll toss it over to first, and now in the side. 9-1-2 due up for the Braves. The Braves leave a runner on as the Mets leave a runner on as they are out front 5-3. New pitcher for the Mets here as Drew Smith steps up to the mound to take care of 9-1-2 of the Braves. And it's been the long ball here all night long. For the Braves, you got Swanson hitting one back in the first. And then you have a home run by Matt Olson for the Braves. And then for the Mets, got Daniel Vogelbach back in the second inning. And you also have Jeff McNeil back in the fifth. No, back in the third, my mistake. And the Braves are out in front 5-3. Drew Smith is the new pitcher for the Mets here. He pitched in last night's game in a third of an inning, striking out one. He's 3-3 so far in the year. 3.43 ERA. 44 innings pitched and 51 strikeouts. 29-year-old, drafted with the Detroit Tigers back in 2015. Debuted in 2018. He's been with the Mets ever since then. First pitch on the way. It's down low for a ball. So just a few more outs for the Mets here to go. The Braves obviously wanting to add more onto the plate as they were out front 5-3. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the corner. 2-0. The winner of this game tonight will hold the tiebreaker if both the Mets and the Braves between these two teams at the end of the season, as the 2-0 pitch is swing and a miss for a strike. 2 balls and a strike onto Arcia. Arcia singled back in the third, scoring in a run as the 2-1 pitch fouled back. Bassett, 2 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs allowed, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts, allowing 1 home run in the game. Not a good outing, at least not compared to the last one with against Oakland. Here's the 2-2. That's fouled back. We'll replay 2-2. Ronald Acuna Jr. on deck. He's 0 for 2, walked in the third and scored. Here's a 2-2 pitch. That's on the inside corner for a ball. Thought that they had it, especially for Smith, and umpire says no. Very close call. Been all over the place today. Here's the payoff pitch. This one's hit. Fly ball out to left field. And that's just bouncing foul. Man, that would have been set up for extra bases if that landed fair. Oh, man. And that's one thing that sucks about Atlanta. You don't get a lot of foul territory when it comes down to closer down to the outfield markers. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Line drive up the middle. Base hit for Orlando Arcia. And the Braves, with nobody out, have a runner on. He did that earlier in the game. Worked the count, got into his favor. Was able to capitalize it, take it the other way. And this one, he just took it right up the middle. Nobody out, runner on. And now we look at Acuna Jr. Here's the first pitch. Chopper foul to the Mets dugout. 0-1. You think if the chances of Arcia maybe still in first or still in second to advance him 90 feet just to try to tackling in another run. Smith sets and time is called. Crowd starting getting into it again. Here's the 0-1 pitch. This is fouled off. Nobody out here in the 7th inning. Arcia is on first. Acuna awaits an 0-2 pitch from Smith. Smith sets and delivers. A swing and a miss for the first out. One away. We'll take a look a little bit into tomorrow's action as the last series of the season gets away. And I say that because there's going to be a couple double headers on Tuesday. But kicking things off in the afternoon, Kansas City's over in Cleveland as the Guardians had a pretty impressive month of September to remember. They go on to win the NL Central, as that used to be a battle between the Twins and the White Sox. As the first pitch to Swanson is a pitch on the outside. It's 1-0. The Pirates finished up a 3-game series in St. Louis. They get to come home and finish the season off against the Cardinals at home as a 1-0 pitch swing and a miss, as well as the Cincinnati Reds. The Reds fell 3-game sweep to the Cubs this weekend. They go home to face the Cubs for 3 games. We'll dive more into the Braves and Marlins a little bit later on, but they finish up a 3-game series in Miami. Toronto and Baltimore, the Yankees in Texas, and those Mets, they go home to face the Nationals. The 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Swanson. He's had a home run so far in tonight's game. Tampa Bay Rays over in Boston to wrap up that season. Arizona taking on Milwaukee and Milwaukee. Philadelphia over in Houston. This is a ball down in the dirt. Checks the runner at first. And it's now 2-2. Minnesota Twins and the White Sox have a series finale there. Angels over in Oakland, the Tigers over in Seattle, and the Rockies over in LA to face the Dodgers. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That's down low, ball 3, full count. And last but not least, the Padres are home to the San Francisco Giants, who just clinched a second spot in the wild card this evening. Here's the 3-2. That's up high. And that's ball 4. Walks Swanson. So RC advances to second. And it looks like this is going to be a pitching change for the Mets. Couple runners on. We got a pitching change going on here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5-3 Braves lead. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher when we come back here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Jolie Rodriguez is the new pitcher for the New York Mets as he has to face the Atlanta Braves with 1-2 on and 1 out. And Michael Harris is the first batter that he comes in contact with. 0 for 3. First pitch is in there for a called strike. He's 2 for 4 on the season, 4.66 ERA, and 55 strikeouts. Last pitch was yesterday. He gave up 1 inning, and that's all on his repertoire. The 0-1 pitch is on the outside for a ball, 1-1. The last 3 games set to be played for Major League Baseball over the next few days. Tuesday, here's a 1-1 pitch, swings and a miss for strike number 2. And a couple of double headers on Tuesday. The Yankees and the Rangers are one of them. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the only double header on the season, the last double header on the season for them. Here's the 1-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So he goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. And on Wednesday, everyone tips off at 4 p.m. Eastern. Angels, Oakland, 4 o'clock. You got about 3 games at 4:05. Everyone else is at 4:10. As a matter of fact, everyone else except for the Rockies and Dodgers, that's to be at 4:20. Austin Riley steps in and with 2 outs in there for strike 1. And then it comes down to the postseason. On Friday, 4 games, wild cards weekend. As the 0-1 pitch to Waits Riley. That one's down on the dirt. Nice stop by McCann. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Wild card season. Times have yet to be determined. All 4 games scheduled lined up for ESPN. How so? I don't know. As the 1-1 pitch. It's up high for a ball. A runner on first and second, 2 away. 2-1 the pitch. This is grounded to Escobar. He'll step on the bag at third himself, and that'll end the inning. We'd play 7. The Braves up 5-3. Just 6 more outs away from another win for the Braves. You guys are listening to Sunday Night Baseball here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. You guys are listening to Sunday Night Baseball here between the Mets and the Braves. Be sure to tune in to after the game, as a quick segment and post-game show is warranted in the conclusion of after this game. And the Braves are just 6 outs away from winning and advancing another game above the New York Mets. And you got 29-year-old AJ Minter out of Texas A&M coming into play. He's 5-4, 2.12 ERA with 92 strikeouts, as the Mets fans look a little worried, and I would look a little worried too, as he gets set to face Mark Canha as the first pitch of the eighth is outside for a ball. Mark Canha is always 1 for 3, singled back in the second inning. You know, the Braves, 3 runs, 11 hits, no errors. Or for the Mets, it's 3 runs, 11 hits, no errors. But for the Braves, it's 5 runs off of 5 hits and no errors. The Mets have gotten the gotten the bats on the ball. This one's lining into right field. That's going to be past Olsen, gets down, lost into the dirt from Acuna, throwing back to first. And Canha is going to be safe at first. Well, a nice diving attempt by Olsen there at first base, just gets away from Olsen. And that maybe comes up with Acuna a little diving. You see, it rolls into the side panel, which is nice. But then Acuna loses the ball somewhere in the mix. Canha thought he was going to go to second. Realized that Acuna had the ball and there was no chance. Turns back around, dives in safely. Got a pitch hitter coming up. Mark Vientos steps in for Luis. He's a 22-year-old rookie coming here. 4 hits, already hit a home run. He's batting 138 on the season as he takes the first pitch outside for a ball. So they're ruling that as a single. For Canha at first base. Vientos 1-0. Here's the pitch. It's down the middle, 1-1. Last game he played, or he was a pitch hitter on Friday's ball game. Went 0 for 1. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Is outside, 2-1. And I guess this is the other viewpoint for both teams, is that, yeah, both teams have also made the postseason, but let's also not forget about the team that, we got to figure out who's going to all make the roster. And there's a lot of guys in this month that's trying to play well just to have a case to play in October. A swing and a miss, the count's tied 2-2. So still some great decisions here in the last few games. A lot to still be proven. Here's the 2-2. That's one's up high. It's 3-2. I'll get you guys to the question of the night here in a minute. It popped up here. Have it ready. Here's the payoff pitch. The Vientos. Swing and a miss. Strike. First out of the inning. Nice strikeout from AJ Minter. 1 away. Well, just like the 4th inning, we give you guys a trivia question for the Atlanta Braves. We'd like to do the return and the favor for the New York Mets. And a nice trivia question for the New York Mets is, who is the Mets' all-time leader in triples and stolen bases? Is it A, Howard Johnson, B, Bud Harrelson, excuse me, C. Mookie Wilson, or D. Jose Reyes. That is, who's the Mets' all-time leader in triples and stolen bases? As we have a pitch hitter, Tomas Nido replaces James McCann at the plate. McCann goes down 0 for 3 of the evening. Here's the first pitch. That's up high. 1-0. So the answers options is A. Howard Johnson, B. Bud Harrelson, C. Mookie Wilson, or D. Jose Reyes. If you guys know the answer or want to play along, just comment your answer down below in the comment section. We appreciate it. And we'll tell you at the bottom of the inning the correct answer. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's in there. Called for a strike. It's 1-1. You know, you use AJ Minter in the 8th inning. You use Raciel Iglesias in the 9th. And you're going to have to most likely deal with the heart of the lineup here coming up in the 9th inning. So it's going to be interesting to figure out just where the Braves go for to pitch the 9th. This is hit right back up the middle. Underhands is Arcia to Swanson, over to first. Double play. 4-6-3 double play ends the top half of the 8th inning. We'll head to the 9th. It's 5, 6, and 7. Braves out in front, 5-3. And a 4-6-3 double play, probably thanks to the assistance of Mentor, as he probably kicked it off. It looked like he kind of kicked it over to second base. Some more defensive position changes. McNeil jumps down to second base. Nido stays in the game to play catcher. So as McNeil jumps down to second base, Tyler Naquin jumps up to right field and take the right fielder spot. So Viento is out of the game for the Mets as he pitched it and did his job. Rodriguez is back out there for another inning as the first pitch in for Olsen is in there for a called strike. Matt Olsen 1 for 1, a solo home run. 2 walks on his resume for tonight. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's on the outside. It's 1-1. The 1-1 count, swing and a miss, 1-2. The Braves are out in front 5-3 here in the 8th inning, just 3 outs away for having a 2-game lead over the Mets. Atlanta Braves head into Miami as the Mets go home to face the Nationals. This one's down low and away. It's 2-2. As we mentioned earlier, the Padres are now another wild card spot into the playoff picture for the National League. This one's down low, so Olsen's worked his way to a full count. They didn't do it by beating the White Sox. As a matter of fact, they lost the White Sox series, and they could lose the next 3 games, knowing that if they tied with the Brewers, they still have the series victory over the Brewers. Here's the payoff pitch, and that's a caught looking out number 1. One away here in the 8th inning, and a mound visit for the Mets. And a pitching change. We'll tell you all about that when we come back here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Back here in the bottom of the 8th inning, pitching change here for Edwin Diaz making his plate appearance. 3-1, 1.35 ERA, 60 innings pitched, and 116 strikeouts. Last pitch was on the 28th against the Miami Marlins, and he's going to be asked to do some work against Travis d'Arnaud and Marcell Ozuna. As the first pitch is hit, fly ball out to center field. Brandon Nemo will get it, and he'll make the out number 2. So 2 away. Just getting at him. William Contreras is coming into the game. Pitch hitting for Marcell Ozuna. First pitch is check swing, called for a strike anyways. Contreras coming into the game. Last played back on Friday against the Mets. He went 0 for 3 with the strikeout. He's batting .276 with 2 stolen bases and 88 hits. There's the 0-1 pitch. It's up high, called for a strike. Tonight's answer for the trivia question of who's Mets all-time leader in triples and stolen bases was it A, Howard Johnson, B, Bud Harrelson, C, Mookie Wilson, or D, Jose Reyes. And we have Joseph Smith answered, and the correct answer is D, Jose Reyes, 4-time All-Star. All-Star Reyes led MLB in triples in 2005, 2006, 2008, 2011. He also led the National League in stolen bases in 05, 06, and 07. So congratulations and thank you to Joseph Smith for playing along in tonight's trivia questions throughout the game. Well, Contreras strikes out swinging to end the inning. Last 3 outs for the Mets. 5-3 Braves as we head to the top half of the inning here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. The last 3 outs here for the New York Mets as Kenley Jansen comes in to tonight's ball game, ready to face on 1, 2, and 3 top of the lineup here. As Jansen was out there last night and the night before, both coming down to save, was kind of lights out. Expected to do the same thing tonight. As we take a look at tomorrow's action here, we'll tell you when our next games are, but the Atlanta Braves are getting ready to pack up and go to Miami after tonight. They have a 6:40 first pitch game against the Marlins tomorrow. Bryce Elder will be on the mound for the Braves, 23-year-old right-hander, 2 for 3 on the season, 2.75 ERA with 42 strikeouts as the first pitch in for Brandon Nemo in there for called strike 1. Last outing for Elder was back pitched on the 25th against Washington. He was 1-0. Won the game in 9 innings, 6 hits, and 1 walk. Here's the 0-1 count. This one swing and a miss. Or a foul tip. A foul tip it was. 0-2 now to Nemo. From Miami, Jesus Luzardo, 25-year-old left-hander, 3-7 on the season, 3.53 ERA with 108 strikeouts on the season. Braves, all fans are standing ready for the ending of this game. Mets, Braves looking to sweep the Mets here. Check swings, fouled. Still 0-2. So the Braves will have a 3-game series against Miami. Miami just got done beating Milwaukee 3-1 in a 4-game series. As the Mets are heading home to face the Nationals, who won over 3 in a 4, who took 1 of 4 against Philadelphia in their series over the weekend. Here's the 0-2 count. It's hit on the ground to Swanson at short. Tosses over to first, 1 away. One out here in the 9th inning for Francisco Lindor, 0 for 4 of the night. The New York Mets and the Nationals play tomorrow. First pitch, 7:10. Washington will have Corey Abbott, 27-year-old right-hander, who's 0-4 with a 5.11 ERA and 39 strikeouts. Last game was against the Braves back on the 25th. Went 5 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, and 7 strikeouts. First pitch, fouled it off, 0-1. The Mets, on the other hand, will have Charlie Carrasco, 35-year-old right-hander, 15-7, 3.98 ERA, and 149 strikeouts. He went 3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, and 1 walk, and 1 strikeout in his 9-27 season. Back on September 27th. This one's lined it right back to Olsen at first for out number 2. 3 unassisted in the books and 2 down. Every fan in Atlanta is on their feet for this last and final out. Braves trying to sweep the Mets. Get 2 games above Atlanta here. And it's going to be up to Jeff McNeil to keep it going. 3 for 4 with the home run in today's game. 2 singles, a home run, and a ground out. Pete Alonso is on deck if the Mets could get to him. Be sure to tune into the post-game show. A quick segment wrapping up the series. Wrapping up tonight's game. Take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard and the standings. This one's hit. Fly ball out to right field. Going back to the warning track is Acuna, and he'll make the grab. The Braves won it 5-3. Postseason atmosphere all season long, or all weekend long. And one more game will do it. Clinch it in the East. As the Braves head down to Miami, Mets go back home for Washington. Back on May, New York Mets was 10.5 games, 34-17 to 23-27. Now, as of tonight, the Braves are 100 games, has won 100 games this season. Magic number just 1. Thanks to some incredible pitching from the starting rotation, the relief coming out of the bullpen. And they go on to sweep the Mets. We'll come back with a quick post-game show. Thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are listening to Sunday Night Baseball between the New York Mets and the Atlanta Braves. Final score of 5-3. We'll take a break. We'll come back up and wrap things up here on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Mets and the Braves game three of a three-game series. And boy, it was been a phenomenal weekend getting the chance to call the Braves and the Mets last night in a thrill showdown, a playoff atmosphere all weekend long in Atlanta. The last home series could have been more exciting to be a sellout to anything else. And tonight, yet again, another game between the Mets and between the Braves that, although it's been in favor of the Braves, all right, they've been phenomenal in home runs, back to back home runs on Friday. You had several home runs in last night's action. And then once again, Matt Olson going three back to back to back home runs. And, it's just, there was definitely playoff atmosphere. And when I say it was playoff atmosphere, coming into the game, there was implications. The Mets had the NL East by a game. The Braves go in and win the first game, and then tying it last night. Then the Braves go in and win game number two, and not tying it, but taking the 1-0 lead, a game lead over the Mets. And then the Braves go on and have an incredible game. I thought early on, hey, listen, Charlie Morton, there was some great pitching over the weekend. Charlie Morton didn't have the greatest outing, going 4 1/3 inning, giving up 9 hits. And listen, for the Mets, on the other hand, I mean, only getting 2 2/3. He came in solid first 2 innings. Great outings from Chris Bassett. Just couldn't get nothing going in the third inning, and it was all settled in there, putting up 3 runs. Braves putting up three runs in the third inning, thanks to a single kick to kick things off by Arcia, followed by a walk, and then a sacrifice fly from Swanson to move everyone 90 feet, and then a bases loaded walk, and then also a Darno single with two that led 2 RBIs. Led from there, Olson hit a home run in the sixth inning, and then we just had some incredible base running skills, some great things that came out of tonight's game. So the Braves did sweep the New York Mets. Final score 5-3. Kenley Jansen picks up the save. He pitched with 7 pitches, no strikeouts, and the Braves go on with 2 games in the National League East. Just 1 game away from clinching the NL East here for the Mets. We have to. They'll be coming home to facing Washington. They'll have to be perfect all the way out. And as of right now, this is how the playoff picture looks like as of right now. The Cleveland Guardians and the St. Louis Cardinals will have the 2 home games from the divisional winners. All right. And then we're looking for the runner-up in the National League East, as we look for which could either be the Mets or the Braves, which right now it sits as the Mets. And as of tonight, the Guardians are facing the Tampa Bay Rays, and the Toronto Blue Jays are taking on to the Seattle Mariners this coming up Friday. And then over in National League, you have the Philadelphia Phillies be taking on St. Louis Cardinals, with the Padres over in New York for a 3-game series with the Mets. But we got 3 more games left of 1 more series, because the Rangers and the Yankees, they have 4 more games. And with the Mets and the Braves, they got 3 more games left to play. All right, Chris Bassett is a losing pitcher. He goes to 15-9, 2 2/3 of an inning, 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 1 home run allowed here. For the Braves, Charlie Morton pitched okay, got out of 4 innings, at least 4 1/3, 9 hits allowed, 3 runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed. Kenley Jansen comes in for the save, 1 hit, 1 inning pitch, nothing given. So it really you look very confident if you're the Braves. You have Minter, Iglesias, Mchugh, all solid tonight. followed by Jansen, who's just been lights out, phenomenal. And for the Mets, man, you got to work on the pitching, especially the starting pitching. Matt Scherzer had a great outing last night. I thought Bassett was going to come in and do the same thing. He couldn't even get out of 3 innings in the game. And there's going to be some questions that need to be asked and need to be answered for New York over the next week. Because here's how it goes. All right? If you win the NL East, if you win the division, you get the weekend off and you play in the NLDS. And if you don't, if you lose and you got to play that wild card against the Padres or the Phillies, right? The winner of that series has to go on to play the Dodgers. And I don't think the Mets or the Braves want to do that in either stretch necessary. So a lot of great baseball coming up. Don't forget to tune us in tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. to 11 with the throw-in, kicking off all the highlights in the NFL. Baseball this weekend, talking about the Bengals, talking about the Reds, talking about, FC soccer, high school, college, all that stuff, beginning Monday mornings, weekdays from 9 to 11. So tune that in on the TNC Sports Talk YouTube channel. Also wanted to give a big shout out to StreamYard Studios, create your podcast, YouTube videos, host virtual business meetings, and even conduct interviews. Check out their free version today at StreamYard.com. Well, my name is Justin. I appreciate you guys tuning in and playing along and listening into tonight's game. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, we will be right back. We're saying so long for the night. You guys have a wonderful night, and we'll see you guys later on.